So about 10 years after my dad died, I get a call from a friend of mine who was a CPA, who was a successful financial planner, San Pedro guy named Paul Nevins. And he said, "Hey, Rick, been a long time, just touching base." He goes, "I just joined Virginia Country Club. Would you like to come play a round of golf with me?" I said, "Sure." He goes, "Next Thursday, 10 o'clock. Go over there, check in, play a round of golf with Paul. We get done. He goes, "Would you like to go to the bar and have a couple of drinks?" Sure, I never turned down a couple of drinks. So we went and sat on the veranda, and we're sitting there, and we're chatting. And he says, "You know, I worked for 3 years, 67, 68, 69 in the summer at your dad's place as a busboy." And he said, "My goal was when I went away to college, I wanted to buy a car. I needed to make a couple $1,000s to buy a car." So he goes, "Your dad hired me. And I worked there for 3 years." And I said, "Wow." I go, "How was that?" He goes, "Wow." He goes, "What a crazy place that was." He goes, "They were so busy, so many people in and out of there." And I go, "You got any stories?" He goes, "Yeah, I got one." I says, "What happened?" He goes, "Well, your dad made sure that, number one, you came to work on time. If you didn't come to work on time, you were sent home. Number two, the busboys all had to wear long sleeve white shirts with a red vest that my dad gave them. And you had to keep it clean, but the vest didn't have buttons. It had latches. It had these little gold latches that you snapped across the vest that secured the vest." So one night, I'm running late, and it's a Friday night, and I have to be there by 4 o'clock. And I'm running late, and I get the vest on, and sure enough, one of the latches breaks. It snaps off. And my vest is like exposed. So I goes, what do I do? I can't be late. I can't be late. So he says, "I got a paper clip." I unwound it. I took the paper clip, and I improvised and put together my vest. But he said there was a little twig sticking out of the vest. Just stuck out a little bit. So I go to work. He goes, "I don't tell anyone anything." I start working. He goes, "There was this couple that came in every Friday night at 5 o'clock. It was an older guy, and he always had a younger girl with him. So one night he has this girl with him. She's about 20, 25 years his younger. And they're sitting in a booth adjacent to the end of the bar. We called it the love booth, because that's where a lot of couples would like to hang out. So they sit down, the waitress comes over, gets their martini drinks, I come over, I bring the garlic bread, I fill their water glasses, I bring the relish bowl, and the girlfriend says, "I have to get up and use the restroom." Well, it's really tight in that corner right there. The bar's right there, the booth is tucked in the corner, right? So she gets up and she turns and she's facing Paul, and Paul turns this way, and as she walks by him, the little twig catches on the top of her blouse and pops her blouse open. And she screams, "Ah!" So all of a sudden, my dad comes running over. "What's going on?" So he brings the waitress over, Wendy. He says, "Get her in the back, get her in the office, fix her all up, da-da-da." "Nevins, what happened?" I don't need to know right now." He goes, "But before you leave tonight, you see me before you leave. Okay, Nevins?" "Okay, Peppy. Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir." So Paul is just like, "Okay, I'm done. I'm fired. I'm not going to get my car. It's over." So he's just sweating it all night, right? So 10 o'clock comes, his shift's over. Here comes my dad. "Nevins, in my office." So they go back in the office. They sit down. My dad goes, "What happened?" So Nevins told the story that I just told you, right? My dad goes, "Why didn't you come to me and tell me your vest was broken?" "Well, because I didn't want to be late, and I was worried about being late and this and that." He goes, No. He goes, "Something like that happens, you come to me. You tell me, all right?" So my dad said, "Nevins, when's your next shift?" He said, "Sunday." He goes, "What time?" 4 o'clock. He goes, "I want you here at 2. He goes, "You and Emil and Juan are going to clean the heads. You're going to clean everything up. I want them spotless. That's your punishment, okay?" And Nevins goes, "Mr. Pielago, you're not going to fire me?" He goes, "No, I'm not going to fire you." He goes, "You told me the truth." He goes, "You made a mistake." He goes, "You're young." He goes, "Everyone makes mistakes." And Nevin goes, oh, thank you, Mr. Pielago." So Nevin's is just ready to walk out the door. My dad goes, "Hey, Nevins." And he turns around and he goes, "What a set."